Analyzing search results. This podcast is at the intermediate level. It requires a basic knowledge of Concordance Bible software, but no knowledge of Hebrew or of Greek. Once we've searched the Bible for words or key numbers, the next step is to analyze our search results. The task really is a combination of two different kinds of activity, one subjective, the other objective. Reading all the verses in our search results is the basis for our subjective analysis. Objective analysis, though, can be a bit more difficult. Fortunately, Concordance includes a suite of analytical tools to help us do just that. In today's podcast, we'll look at how to use them. Concordance excels at finding words quickly and easily. But what do we do with the search results? The first step is easy. Read the hit verses. This may be the most important step, as it gives us a feel for how the word is used by various authors and what topics it typically addresses. It's a subjective analysis, but one that we should certainly never skip. Some people prefer to set the contextual slider to 0 and navigate verse by verse. Others prefer to set the slider to all and navigate hit by hit. We can choose whichever method we prefer, but it's really important not to forget this step. It's critical. Remember, we can take notes as we go along by using Concordance's User Notes feature. Once we've got a subjective feel for how the text uses the word, it's time to balance that with an objective perspective. Concordance's analytics provide that. The Search Results tab displays simple statistics, the number of hit verses, and the number of hit words. More sophisticated analytical tools are available at the click of this button. Like the simple statistics, it too only appears once we've run a search. Here's the menu of Concordance's analytics. 8 different ways to analyze our search results. We'll use the rest of this podcast to go over each of them. Analytics appear in their own dedicated zone and are tied to a particular search tab. They also update automatically when we run a new search in that tab. This one is a hits graph, which helps us analyze frequency and distribution. It's a quick way to visualize where and how often the search words appear. Use it to answer questions like this. What authors or books use this word most frequently? Least frequently? Is it more frequent in a particular kind of literature? Does it suddenly appear or disappear as time passes? Answers to these sorts of questions offer valuable insights into a word's meaning and nuances. We can copy this graph and paste it wherever we want, or print it directly, as we can with any of Concordance's analytics. We can adjust the graph's resolution with this slider from Fine to Coarse and anywhere in between. Double-click anywhere in the graph to jump to a particular verse, and even keep the graph, run another search, and superimpose the new graph on the old. We can also customize the display of each of these analytics using the Command T, that's Control T for those of you on PCs. And that customization includes changing the graph colors, background, and even unstacking the graphs for the two searches. The analysis graph offers us more ways to configure the graph's display. It will break out search results in a key number Bible, for instance, by words or by key numbers. We just have to switch the analysis class here. Analysis graphs are especially useful for searches in grammatically tagged original language texts, where they offer many more ways to analyze the additional data. For those who own the MT and LXX parallel database, that includes the ability to identify the Masoretic Hebrew or Septuagintal Greek equivalents for each hit word. These kinds of analyses enable grammarians and other scholarly experts to make precise judgments about different words and their use. Analytics includes 4 different ways to analyze and view word count totals. The first is analysis, which is a list of hit words with totals for each. In a key number Bible, analysis can also include a list of key numbers, original language words, as we can see here, and the number of times each is translated by that particular word. This is a great way to identify the various Greek and Hebrew key words for a topical study. Analyses for searches in grammatically tagged texts offer many more ways to view the data. Here are the display settings, which offer 16 different sort categories. We just drag the labels into the column in the order in which we'd like Concordance to sort them. The different columns are for phrase searches and include the ability to sort each word in a phrase search differently. I should add that we can search any text directly from the analysis pane by selecting the word, right-clicking, and choosing any text in the same language. It's this kind of precision that enables scholars to make accurate judgments about how a particular stem or tense of a word is used. The bar chart and the pie chart are two different ways of displaying the same data. Each can break out individual words or key numbers and display their relative proportions. Once again, these analytics are even more useful when they have more data to work with, as with grammatically tagged texts. The different classes by which the data can be analyzed are identical to those for the analysis graph. The last of these 4 word count tools, the Concordance, works much like a print concordance. It lists every hit word in the search, followed by the total number of times it occurs. It then lists all verse references with short excerpts containing the hit word in context. When words occur more than a preset number of times, only the references appear. We can set that limit in the pane's display settings. The table and table bar charts are statistical analyses of the number of hit words. Both can be sorted by canonical order, total hits, or average hits. As we can see in this table, they can even offer chapter-level detail. These two analytics offer the best way of statistically analyzing the relative importance of words in various texts. That makes it easy to identify the most important chapters for understanding a word. The bar chart is a visual way of displaying the same data. So what about the very first item in this menu? Default Analytics. It's a quick way to open multiple analytics with a single click. We just set our Search tab preferences here. The combination of searching and analyzing a Bible or text is the very foundation of good interpretation, and Concordance makes both tasks easy. These twin tasks should always precede any consideration of outside resources, whether we're talking about commentaries, theologies, word books, or the like. Remember, original sources rule. I trust today's podcast will encourage you to use analytics as you seek to understand what your Bible says. This has been Dr. J for Concordance Bible Software. Thank you for watching this episode of Lighting the Lamp.